Here's the problem. If women would just collectively decide to stop sleeping with guys that are dusty, like Shira says, broke, excuse-making losers, all right? Or if you just stop sleeping with guys that mistreat you, stop sleeping with guys that are dickheads, then men would have no choice but to rise to the occasion to get the women that they wanted. Okay? The reason why these guys get away with this shit is because you women are sleeping with them and making excuses for them and allowing them to get away with this behavior, and it is forcing you to be frustrated with dating men that are not the caliber of men that they fucking ought to be. I look around LA, and I'm in LA, but I look around in LA and I don't see a single man here, with the exception, a rare exception, that even knows how to dress, let alone act like a gentleman. That's number one. Number two is there's that men out here dead ass living at their mama's house focusing on getting girls, trying to get women instead of getting on and making money. And you women are sleeping with them. So whose fault is it? Do you guys see what I'm saying? If men recognized that the only way they're going to get any play, any sort of Bible study at all, is if you're like, you need to be a man worth being with first. And then they go, fuck, I need to get my priorities in order. But you women are enabling this. You see? You're choosing to meet guys at a bar that has a neck tattoo of an eagle like this coming out of their shirt like this. Hasn't had a job in fucking ever. And y'all sleep with that guy and then get mad 6 months down the line when he chooses, when you're like, hey, how come you can't be a responsible adult? How come I'm mothering you? And he's like, well, this is how you met me. You see? Y'all choose that shit. You allow for men to behave this way because you don't give yourself enough credit to allow you to select a higher caliber of men. That's it. It's not that they don't exist. But if women collectively decided to not sleep with every irresponsible Joe Schmo they met that has some powder for you in the bathroom or whatever. If y'all stop doing that shit, then men would have to rise to the occasion. Do y'all get me? Do you understand? Chivalry by itself wouldn't be fucking dead if you just rejected every single man that wasn't chivalrous. You wouldn't have a pool of lying, excuse-making broke guys in your dating roster if you stopped dating guys, if all women collectively decided that they're not going to date an upstanding, successful in his field or whatever man. That's the answer. You guys just literally need to, instead of complaining, y'all should fucking unite and just do straight up like South Korea 4B movement. It's just not going to work. Look, and I don't have a problem with that. I straight up think that men should be responsible. And I think it's going to force them, I think it will force men to be responsible. Because they're like, well, shit. If she's not going to sleep with me unless I have over a 700 credit score, then I better get my act together. And I think that's fair, motherfuckers. I think that's a great idea. Bring your credit score to the first date. I want credit history. I need rental history for sure. Your mama can't be co-signed on it. And you got to be at least a 720 or above, or else we're not going to Bible study ever. That's a great idea. That would force men to wear a collared shirt. Wear a collared shirt. That would force them to get a job. Instead of looking for a woman to mooch off of. Because I see that too. Disgusting. Oh, because here's the thing. And this kind of hits close to home. And I don't want to put anybody under the bus on this. But I'm not going to say any names or nothing. But there are men that I know, dead ass, that just have a woman that he lives off of. And that woman, with kids and everything, going full-time working a job for a man that's at home. And the way I see it is if that man's just sitting at home, he's just like a child. Because by the way, let me tell you something about those men at home. They still expect you to cook and clean and all that shit. They've been home all day playing Madden, 2K or whatever on the Xbox. And then you still got to come home and cook and clean. And then, and here's the other thing. And this is what blows my mind. Because you women will listen to that man make excuse after excuse as to why he can't make any money, as to why he's unfucking employable, as to why he can't help at all because of all his victimhood bullshit. All right? You'll listen to that and just feel sorry for him and still find it inside of you to be able to find it inside of you. That's crazy to me. Shouldn't that just dry you up? You get what I'm saying? Because that sounds like to me that if you are reasonable, these women are going to, if a man, here's the thing. If a man is just giving you excuses as to why he can't help, doesn't that make you drier than the Sahara? It must. It must. But yet, you women are allowing this behavior because you're sleeping with these men. If you want men to be better, y'all need to have a united fucking front. I'm serious about that. It's got to be, you have to straight up say no to the perpetually broke, to the perpetually down on his luck, to perpetually can't get his money right, to the perpetually can't hold down a job. If they're like that, no thank you. Straight up. If you guys, you women, chose to stop sleeping with those kinds of guys, all men, because by the way, men are utility focused. We think in like how to solve problems. How do we get from A to B? We do that. And by the way, people, not just men, but people follow the path of least resistance. All right? So if you guys just made it really, really fucking hard to sleep with you, then I would be all kinds of men stepping up to the plate for real. And here's the thing, and maybe some of y'all don't want to hear this, and I'm sorry to say it, but it's going to hurt a little bit. You can't start doing that after you've already had kids or whatever with some other man, because then that kind of defeats the purpose. Y'all got to straight up go full chastity, no play for any man with a credit score lower than 680. 680 and below, no thanks. Need 5 years of employment history or no thanks. It needs to be like that. If it's not like that, you're not going to change these men. They're just going to keep getting away with it. You see? And the way I see it, this is frustrating to me, by the way. The way I see it is because these men complain to me. They're like, well, I'm out, they're out here frustrated and complaining about getting women before they even got on. They don't make any money. They're just full of excuses. They don't have a good job or anything like that. And they're focused on getting women because they can, and sometimes they do. And that's fucking crazy. And then y'all women sleep with those guys, take them home or whatever, and then because most women, it's not, okay, there's a few women out there that just want to have a good time. All right, no strings attached, whatever. And at least that's what y'all convince yourself about. But then, after you do see them for a little bit, then it's like, well, I don't know, I'm kind of catching feels. Uh-oh. You got to guard your heart, ladies. If y'all want to play around, I get that. Look, listen. We're all adults here. Birds do it, bees do it, whatever. Got to guard your heart a little bit though. When y'all women start sleeping with men, y'all start feeling for them a little bit. You know what I mean? Not every time, but a lot of the times. So if y'all are just going to just have fun with some guy with a neck tattoo that hasn't had a job in fucking ever, then what's going to happen is you're not guarding your heart. Next thing you know, you're going to be all drama and frustrated with some guy that was never responsible in the first place. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? So, the answer is this, ladies. Stop sleeping with men that aren't about it. Stop sleeping with men that don't know how to dress. Stop sleeping with men that don't make any money. Stop sleeping with men that are just perpetual excuse-making fucking losers. All right? They don't have a life and people around them and things to show for their success and all that thing. If they don't have that stuff in place, stop sleeping with them. And that will force a nation to change. That's really the answer. Stop dating, stop sleeping with broke dudes. Stop dating broke dudes all the way. Their priorities are way out of whack. If you're a broke man, you should not be dating women. You should be focusing on getting your life in order and start learning to not only be able to provide for your fucking self, my God, but also for the people around you, which includes your woman. Don't you want to? If you don't want to provide for your woman as a man, there's something wrong with you. You're broken, okay? So, if you're not going to learn, then just all women should stop sleeping with you until you learn some goddamn responsibility. And that's fair. Isn't that fair? Shouldn't that be like what you should aspire towards? They'll find a girlfriend before they find a job. Yeah, because you women allow for that. You see? Y'all allow for the men to be out of order. And oh my God, how out of order are you if you think that if you're broken at the bottom, that a woman is going to solve your problems as a man? That's crazy. That's crazy. You got to have something rolling. You got to have something moving. You got to be doing something for yourself first. You be a man. What the fuck? But at the end of the day, here's what I love about women. Here's the power that you have. If women stopped sleeping with men altogether until they had some criteria checked boxed off first, then men would have to step up. They would even kind of shame each other about it. Like, oh, you don't even have a job. How are you going to get a girlfriend? You don't have a job. But now that's not even on the bingo card. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not even a requirement now. You girls will just take in God and almost anybody. That's crazy. Who is that guy with the mugshot? There was this guy with the mugshot, really handsome, viral guy that went around, blue eyes, bald dude, but he was handsome. Nothing but a wall behind him. History of violence or something. Y'all women were throwing yourself at a prisoner. What the fuck? And it's not like he can't, I'm not saying reformation isn't a thing. I'm not saying he can't go out there and become somebody. Of course he can. Of course. I'm not saying that shit. But I'm just saying, women, y'all got to be responsible a little bit too now. You know? You guys know what I'm talking about. That handsome dude. And it's like, oh, okay, he's handsome, but he's literally an inmate. And y'all writing him letters, ready to throw your whole life at him. Sending him commissary and whatnot. That's crazy. So, whose fault is it really? Y'all blaming the men, but is it the men's fault? If you sleep with broke guys, you open your heart to broke guys. And the perpetually broke guys are just going to always have an excuse in a story that they're going to sell you. And they're going to pull on your empathy strings. And they're going to make you feel sorry for them. And then you're just going to be on the phone with your mother in the bathroom, secretly making excuses for this guy you deep down hate. But feel so guilty about. And is that what you want? Is that what you want? That you should just date for results, not potential. Because here's the reason why. You will make up potential about people. You'll meet them, you'll kind of open your heart to them, and then you'll just assume they have potential, and they might even try to convince you that they have potential because that's the way they get laid, of course. So then you end up dating for potential that potential is never realized. And that's the other thing. People don't just start dating and then just their potential unlocks. It doesn't work that way. They start on the path, and then over time, they build on it and build on it and build on it and build on it, and then they flourish. And that's how they flourish. It's a continual, constant watering of that garden. That's how it flourishes. Okay. You're not going to just date some broke loser and then he's just going to and turn his life around, and all that latent potential is just going to come poof into existence, and then now he's just got great habits and good connections and good work ethic and acumen and ability, and it's just not like that. It doesn't work that way. So if you date for results, then the work's already been done, and you don't have to be frustrated forever with dating for potential. You guys understand? You guys get it? Because by the way, and some of y'all probably have learned this lesson the hard way, but for some people that haven't learned the lesson yet and just need to hear it, a baby doesn't now make a man responsible. You think it might. You think that he's going to just stop going out, stop drinking so much, stop doing the things you want to do because you got pregnant. Let me tell you, sis, you're in a whole new world if you think that's the case. That's not reality. That's not reality. If you have a baby with a fundamentally irresponsible man, that man will continue to be irresponsible, let me tell you. Their potential doesn't unlock. It's not how it works. They need to be that man in the first place. All right? So here's what you do. Here's what you do. On your first date, you go out with a scorecard and start with a checklist. Be like, what's your credit score? I need to know what your FICO score is. What kind of investments do you have? How long have you been employed? Are you on a lease? And is it your name and nobody else's? If you fill out all 5 of these boxes, and and you have a good rental history and bills in your name, then we can talk. But if barring fucking that, we're not going to date. Certainly not going to have a baby with you. If you do those things, all men will step up. All right? That's what you got to do, folks. You heard it here first. That's the way you ensure future success. Having the wherewithal to screen them today. And then by the way, this is for my own, listen, if you guys do that straight up, and I mean, I'm joking a little bit, but not really. If you guys date for results, then all men will have to step up for results. If a man that says he loves you is willing to drag you along for years and years and years through your best years, and never with no commitment, no obligation, no responsibility towards the people around him, because you allow that, then that's your fucking fault. And you need to put on him, hey, if you love me, you need to not allow me to just waste my best years with you, because if I don't end up with you, it is a waste of my best years, and allow me to be with somebody who's going to take me seriously. And you should just straight up say that. And there's a realistic timeline for everyone, and it's not necessarily 2 years, whatever, but figure whatever that is for you, but just straight up say that. And say, look, if this isn't going anywhere, like I need to, after some time, and not 3 months, not 6 months, but in some reasonable amount of time, you straight up should say to them, this is going to end. If this isn't going towards a commitment. Just straight up say that. And then take a break from them and then let them decide. It's kind of an ultimatum, but also you only get one life. You're only going to be in your 20s and 30s once. They got to be fucking clear with what you want. All right? Don't be a bitch. Don't hide. Don't gatekeep, your love for them. But just be sincere in that. And they're going to have to choose to step up to the plate or not. Don't you see? Okay, Carrie says, Carrie's a subscriber on my TikTok, so we're answering her questions. How should we prove we're wife material without providing wife privileges? You can't do that. You got to just be what he could imagine himself being with forever. Today, you got to do that now today. You can't gatekeep that shit. You can't say, oh, well, I'm not going to do these things, but if you propose to me, then I will. No, no, no. You got to act as if today. If you act as if today, then tell them realistically, I need to know where this is going or I'm out. I'm just going to take some time away from you so that you can think about what you want from yourself and your life. But I can't be dragged on endlessly through my best years. What do you want from me? I need to know if this is a commitment or not. And also, by the way, I'm not married yet. I do see myself being married one day. But the reason why I'm not married yet is because I want to take my time figuring it out if this is exactly what I want from the person or persons that I'm seeing, until if I narrow that down to somebody that I want to see, and it be a marriage for me. Because here's the thing, marriage to me is a death pact. There's no way out of this. We ain't getting divorced. That's just not happening. Where if you're going to commit to this, we're going to die together. That's it. That's it. The only way out of this arrangement is death. That's the only way out. So for me, it's just not something I take lightly. Divorce is not in the cards. Don't you guys see? If a guy wants you to build with him and promises a big future, If a guy wants you to build with him and promises a big future, what do? I waited 4 years. Waited 4 years for what? This is what I keep telling you guys. What do you mean? You can't be, listen, don't date for potential. Date for results. If they already have the results, they already have something to show for it, then you know what you're getting into. Potential is a mixed bag. You never know. Sure, some guys can make it. Some very small minority of men might make it. Maybe. But if you date for results, it's already there. It's clear as day, right in front of your eyes, exactly what you're getting into. More or less. You never really know, I suppose. But at least it's a better bet than to just date somebody for their potential that they tell you they have. All right? I hope that helps.